Relicta is a visually stunning indie puzzle platformer that seems to be heavily inspired by the critically acclaimed The Talos Principle and Cube 2. Its use of magnetism and momentum in its puzzle design feels both familiar and fresh, and is put to use perfectly to create interesting, intuitive, and challenging puzzles. Something it does even better than the works it's inspired on. Sometimes the game values immersion over presentation, which makes it so it might be unclear what to do in some levels, a problem that Cube doesn't suffer from. The mechanics of this game seem pretty simple at first. You can pick up cubes and move them. Cubes cannot move through barriers, and pressure pads can be pushed to deactivate those barriers. It starts to get really tricky when magnetism, anti-gravity, and teleporters get involved. The player can switch a cube's magnetic field between positive and negative, enable or disable gravity, and teleport certain cubes to different areas using teleporters. Gravity manipulation and magnetism are by far the most interesting and fun mechanics of the game, allowing you to change a cube's magnetic field to either attract other cubes or launch them away. Anti-gravity allows you to shoot cubes greater distances, and yes, you can stand on these cubes. These mechanics allow you to experiment in many different ways, making you feel like you're breaking the game and finding things you're not supposed to. In this level, for example, I was able to grab one cube by changing another cube's gravity to repel it towards me, and when it was within my reach, I used the cube I had to attract the other one. In another level, I used an unintended mechanic to stack two cubes on top of each other, and used this to launch myself to the end of the level. I had no idea if all of this was intentional, but it gave me a real feeling of accomplishment, and made the game much more rewarding. As I mentioned before, this game looks absolutely amazing. When I first launched the game, I was surprised by the fact that all my settings were on max, and my weak 1050 Ti was handling it without a problem. I've seen AAA games from 2010 run and look worse than this. Heck, I've even seen games from 2021 that look worse than this. I do recommend setting post-processing to medium though, if you don't want the game to look like a blurry mess. A graphics related issue I'm annoyed by is that the game's physics are FPS bound, meaning that when your FPS drops below a certain threshold, your game will begin to bug out. Speaking from an aspiring game developer's perspective, this is such an easy thing to fix. Delta time. Other than this, and some weird glitches in the graphical menu, everything related to visuals is absolutely amazing. Like some other games of its kind, Relicta is a puzzle game with a story. This is where the game falls short, however. After roughly 1 hour of playing the game, I still didn't know the name of any of the characters, including my own. Most of the dialogue feels unnatural and cringy, and most of it just feels like it was put in place to explain the basic mechanics or character relationships to the player.
Okay, we'll start with some easy tests. Let's see if I can mess with the laws of physics and move some of those test boxes. The teleport devices. Instant matter.
You have an incoming comm from your daughter.
Kira. Just find gravito-electromagnetic systems. What's up with those fancy colors in my test cubes?
In the end, Relicta is a lot of fun. With impressive visuals, without compromising performance, interesting and rewarding puzzles, and unique gameplay, it definitely stands out from other games that I've played, and it might even receive a permanent spot on my desktop. The story isn't a deal breaker, but it definitely doesn't do the game any good. I don't have a problem with a puzzle game having a story, but seeing the fact that people play this game for the puzzles, it's better to have a good story or none at all. Apart from that, the game is pretty cool. I give the game an 8 out of 11. Hi there. Thank you very much for watching. If there's any other games that used to be free on the Epic Games Store and you want me to review, comment down below. I just got a new mic, I hope you noticed. I got a pretty big high quality project in the works. Stay tuned.